Hello again, everyone. We are going to go over chapter 17 of Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching in today's video. I'm going to read 3 translations as always and go into some descriptions of what I think it may mean. So our first version goes like this. In the highest antiquity, the people did not know that there were their rulers. In the next age, they loved them and praised them. In the next, they feared them. In the next, they despised them. Thus it was that when faith in the Tao was deficient in the rulers, a want of faith in them ensued, in the people. How irresolute did those earliest rulers appear, showing by their reticence the importance which they set upon their words. Their work was done, and their undertakings were successful, while the people all said, "We are as we are of ourselves." The second translation goes like this. Of great rulers the subjects do not notice the existence. To lesser ones people are attached, they praise them. Still lesser ones people fear, and the meanest ones people despise. For it is said, if your faith be insufficient, verily you will receive no faith. How reluctantly they, the great rulers, considered their words. Merit they accomplished, deeds they performed, and the 100 families thought, we are independent. And our third translation goes like this. When great men rule, subjects know little of their existence. Rulers who are less great win the affection and praise of their subjects. A common ruler is feared by his subjects, and an unworthy ruler is despised. When a ruler lacks faith, you may seek in vain for it among his subjects. How carefully a wise ruler chooses his words. He performs deeds and accumulates merit. Under such a ruler, the people think they are ruling themselves. So this chapter has been called the simplicity of habits, or the unadulterated influence. This chapter is obviously political, in a sense. It speaks about leaders and how they are received by their followers or their subjects. Politics is something that I like to keep at a distance and away from the content here on the channel, at the very least. But having said that, we need to get into this chapter and try to see what's actually being said. So we're being told that the best of leaders are invisible to those that they lead. I take this to mean that they aren't interfering with people's lives in any way that is obvious. They would appear to have the people's best interests in mind as they go about their business. Good leaders, that is, leaders that aren't quite as good as the best, but still better than most, these leaders are loved by those who they lead. These are the leaders that make promises and do their best to keep them. They have an actual accord with the people, and seem to believe in what they tout. For the people to love them, we must assume that they share some common form of politics. They agree on something. And then we have common or average leaders, who are feared by those they lead. These are the types that take control of a situation and make it known that they are the ones holding power. They, in some way, assert dominance over others and force the populace into submission, whether it be with threats, with pure intimidation, or with some other mechanism. We finally see that the worst of leaders are despised by those that they lead. Without going too far out on a limb, which I assume is very safe at this moment, I would say that America has quite a developed taste for this in the current moment. When a leader loses faith, whether it is in a common cause, an ideal, a good streak of judgment, or whatever, those who are led follow suit and lose faith as well. We all look up to those who lead us. Few and far between are the real rebels and the real protesters. We haven't been given a very obvious reason to not look up to the leader or to the person in charge. We're used to this sort of thing. We are reminded that when a leader acts without seeking merit, the followers are made independent. When a leader is able to detach themselves from what it is that they are accomplishing, the people feel at ease. They feel as if the leader is one of them. another person going about their lives as they do. And we are also reminded that when a leader speaks, that is, in contrast from performing actions, without seeking praise, that they are in accordance with the Tao. This is a strange chapter to be unpacking in these times. We think of a leader who has taken the time to think about what life is all about. We think about a leader who spares a thought to anything other than money or social status. This is a very difficult task for us in the moment, I believe. Regardless of the whole climate of global politics and happenings in the current times, a leader that speaks without seeking praise is a bit crazy to imagine, at least in the United States. The whole thing seems to be designed in a way that blocks out any questioning, or if you do participate in questioning, it may be assumed that you are in the other camp or the other team. So instead of getting ourselves lost in what we think reality should be, we should shift our attention to what it actually is. And having this in mind, we can continue on with clear minds and without the artificial limits that we impose upon ourselves.